This was inevitable. And if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, you already know what time it is because every single year after the draft, there are winners, there are sleepers, and then there are guys who just got put on notice. And today, we're talking about four players on this roster who might have just seen their jobs slip through their fingers. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Falcons Digest. I'm Charles Jones, and today we're getting into the part of the offseason people don't always like to talk about. But it's real. It's competition, it's pressure, and it's just reality that not everybody is making it out of training camp the same way they walked in. Because after this draft, the Falcons didn't just add talent, they created some major freaking battles, man. And speaking of major battles, I have to get into this. This is about the subs, man. We are crushing it with the subs, man. And I just want to say, if you're tuned in to Falcons Digest right now, just go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, whichever order you want to do it in, man. I appreciate all of the engagement on this channel. And I just want to thank you guys for even tuning in, man, and just listening to what I have to say. And like I said, I definitely need you guys to chime in with your feedback. I will respond, so talk to me nice. So let's set the tone real quick, man. This story is about four of the Atlanta Falcons players, and we're going to break them all down. When teams draft players, okay, they're not just adding depth, we know that. They're sending a message for the most part. They're saying we need better. We want competition. We are not satisfied. And if you're already on the roster, that message hits you directly. So when we look at this Falcons draft class, you can already start connecting the dots. On the clock, let's start in the secondary. Mike Hughes. Now, look, this isn't a situation where he's guaranteed to be gone, but let's not pretend everything is comfortable either, because the Falcons went out and drafted Avieon Terrell, little bro, and they didn't do that for no reason. Bringing AJ Terrell's little brother here, that was for no. Come on now, that was blatant. Something is going on with that. But Hughes had an up and down 2025 season. We know injuries, inconsistent play, struggles in coverage at times, and now you bring in a young, hungry corner with upside, with energy, with something to prove, and his big brother is right there. That's competition, straight up. Now, Hughes could still win the job, hold on to a role, even start. But one thing is clear. He is not safe. So, quiet pressure for this guy here, the QB3 right now on the roster, is Trevor Siemian. Now, let's go back to the quarterback room. And this one is definitely interesting to me because on paper, you'd say he's fine, right? Veteran presence, experienced, steady. But then the Falcons go out and sign Captain Jack Strand, Division II standout, big arm, big production. And yeah, it's a long shot, but here's the thing about the NFL. Coaches fall in love with potential, and if Strand shows literally anything in camp, now you've got a conversation. Meanwhile, the top of the room is already locked in with Michael Penix Jr. and Tua Tagovailoa. So what does that mean? Siemian's fighting for QB3 for sure, no doubt. And that spot is not guaranteed on this roster. Now, let's move over to the wide receiver room. Casey Washington. And this might be tough because coming into last season, there were expectations. He made the team. There was buzz. But what happened? His role started shrinking and shrinking until he was a healthy scratch on most Sundays. That's not a good sign. Then the Falcons go out and draft Zachariah Branch out of UGA, and now the room looks like this. Drake London, Jahan Dotson, Alameda Zacchaeus, Zach Branch. That's already 4 spots. All right? Then you add undrafted free agents other depth receivers, and suddenly you're fighting for maybe one or two spots. That's pressure. That's real pressure. And this is what people forget. Roster spots are limited. You're not keeping 10 receivers. You're keeping maybe 6, 7 max. So if you're Casey Washington, you've got to show up in camp, make plays consistently, stand out on special teams. You got to do something, bro, because if not, it's going to be a long summer at home for you. All right? Moving on, let's talk about the name that really stands out here, or at least this stands out to me, because J.D. Bertrand. This situation, this is serious. So let's talk about what happened last season. When Bertrand got his opportunity last year, it didn't go well. And let's be real about it. He struggled, looked a step slow, had trouble reacting, wasn't making the impact you need from a starting linebacker. And in the NFL, that gets noticed very fast. Eventually, he got benched, replaced, and barely saw the field outside of special teams. That's already a bing, bing, red flag. Now, here's where things get tough. Because instead of standing pat, the Falcons completely reworked the linebacker room. They added Kendal Daniels, Harold Perkins Jr. from LSU, my steal of the draft. Then, in free agency, Christian Harris, Channing Tindall, another UGA guy, and you still have Divine Diablo. Don't forget about Diablo, who really showed up for us last year. Troy Anderson is coming back healthy. Got to factor him into there. Malik Verdon is coming back. That's a lot of freaking bodies, bro. And not just bodies, athletes, real athletes, fast, versatile, explosive. Exactly what defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich wants. So you're probably asking, why would J.D. Bertrand be in trouble? Ask yourself this: where does J.D. Bertrand fit? Because when you look at this group, everyone else brings speed, range, versatility, and Bertrand, that hasn't been his strength at all. So now, it's not just about performance, okay? It's about fit. And right now, it doesn't look great for J.D. Bertrand, okay? The harsh truth is, this is the part that people don't like to hear. But it's real, man. If you struggled last year, got replaced at any point during the season, and the team upgrades your position in the draft this year or as a bringing in free agents, guess what? You're on the chopping block, bro. And that's how this works. So you're probably asking, what needs to happen for J.D. Bertrand? Now, is it over? No, it's not over for him. But for these guys, and not just J.D., for the rest of the guys as well, it's simple. They have to show improvement. Win their reps. Make it impossible to cut them, because if they don't, the decision gets so much easier to make. And this is actually a good sign for the Falcons. It's a good problem to have, because what does this mean? Competition is real. Standards are rising. Rise up. We need that. No one is comfortable. You should get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's going to help you as an athlete. And that's how good teams are built as well. So yeah, when I say this was inevitable, I'm talking Neo Morpheus. Quit trying to hit me and hit me. The draft changes everything. Mike Hughes on notice. Trevor Siemian on notice. Casey Washington on notice. And J.D. Booty Cheeks Bertrand. He might be in the toughest spot of them all, because this isn't just about keeping a job anymore, bro. It's about proving you still belong in this locker room. But now, I want to hear from you. Which player do you think is most at risk? And who do you think survives training camp, man? It's about to get wild in the A. Drop your comments in the box below. Let's talk about this. And please don't jump on me for calling JD Booty Cheeks Bertrand Booty Cheeks. He literally played like butt last year, man. I mean, Caden Ellis was the main one flashing on this defense, as well as Divine Diablo. Now, you bring in Perkins Jr. and Daniels. You bring in Kendal and Christian Harris. I mean, these are all athletes. I don't see where J.D. Bertrand out of Notre Dame fits in this defense. But I'm not saying, that I want him gone or anything either. For me, it's just healthy competition. We need the healthy competition in the A, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to get too far into my spiel. You guys know how I do. I want to talk about it in the box below. So please, if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and subscribe, like, whichever order you want to do that in. And per usual, man, you already know what it is. Peace up. You know the rest. This is Falcons Digest. Stay blessed, y'all.
Yeah, when they talking about BKG Tony, we talking about winning. What it do, Chuck Tweezy?